Good evening and welcome to Current Issues. I'm your host, Hesham Tillawi. By the way, we would like to welcome all our new viewers in the on cable that we have picked up recently. I think there's a lot more people that see the show on cable now besides satellite and also besides the internet broadband. And so we welcome all our new viewers. You will see that this is the only show that you will ever need to know what's going on in this country and overseas. We tell you the truth, we bring it to you, and you decide. You see all kind of stuff on the mainstream media, and you do know that they lie to you. And all I can say is just turn the TV off, and this is the only show that you need. This is the only show that you need to get the truth of what's going on. So tonight we are going to be talking in the second hour about the Palestinians and their problem. And also, by the way, starting in our next season, which starts in January, we will be on Tuesday nights from 6:30 to 8:30 Central Time. So we will be on Tuesday nights, starting in January, Tuesday nights at a much better time, 6:30 to 8:30. So that's basically prime time. So we'll be coming to you prime time from 6:30 to 8:30 on Tuesdays. Remember that. Mark your calendars down. That starting July, I think it's January. I keep saying July. I think it's January 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. It will be on Tuesday, 6:30. All right. My next guest is a 15-year-old Christian American. Her name is Stefania Glenn. And Stefania writes about the Palestinians. And one of her latest articles that she wrote was an article. She has seen the pictures of Palestinians, Palestinian children dying. And with these Palestinian children, she, as a 15-year-old, felt that, you know what, something is wrong. When we see all these grown-ups called the Israeli soldiers killing these infants and sometimes killing these little children who have not yet had a chance to even see what's going on, or even it's really, sometimes when I look at these pictures, it's just it's extremely sad. I believe we do have Stefania with us. Stefania, are you there?
I'm here.
Very good. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Stefania, the last article, now you're 15 years old.
14.
14, I'm sorry. You know what? I should not try to make you a year older. That's bad.
That's all right.
That's the worst thing you do to a girl. But of course, with your age, you probably can't wait until you get a little bit older.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Stefania, tell me, in your last article that you wrote, do you have it there with you?
Yes, I do.
I just want you to read a little bit what you wrote, and then we will come back and talk about why you wrote it and why you feel that way.
Okay, well, what parts do you want me to read? Just the beginning?
Just go ahead and read a little bit from the beginning.
Okay, it's called Putting a Pretty Face on an Ugly Picture. In the photo, the Israeli soldiers were marching through Palestine. Their faces were blackened and determined looking, with the flag of Israel waving majestically over their heads. Everything about them suggested, or at least was meant to suggest, their courageous acts, their willingness to sacrifice their very lives for their people and homeland, their unbending will, and oh, such piety. The caption above the photo read, "Their job is to protect Israel. Ours is to support them." Then, you can send money to support these soldiers who are defending their homeland. Send money to relieve the stress that these soldiers go through, blah, blah, blah. This was in the Christian edition of the Jerusalem Post. Support these soldiers. The picture in the magazine may have looked great. It may have given the effect of wonderful, courageous soldiers. But that is due only to the fact that these soldiers knew that they were being photographed for a magazine. They knew they had better at least pretend not to be the murderers and terrorists that they truly are. Okay, is that all you wanted me to read?
Yes, keep going.
Okay. I have no doubt that the photo did its work well. I'm sure that at least hundreds of Christians were stirred by this touching scene and sent barrelfuls of money into Israel to slaughter innocents. Maybe these fools who call themselves Christians should see a few pictures of these same exact soldiers when they do not know that the camera is on them and they are being their true selves. Maybe Christians need to see pictures of these soldiers shooting the heads off Palestinian children whose only crime has been to exist and who are committing the extremely terrorist act of walking to school or playing in their front yard.
Keep going, keep going.
Keep going? Okay. The suffering that these Christians support, the pain, agony, torture, scenes of suffering are now flashing through my mind, and they stab my heart with 1,000 knives. Just imagine, for one moment, a Palestinian girl and her little brother are walking to school. Their hearts are pounding, pounding. They are pounding so loudly that the children imagine they cannot hear anything else. They feel fear, fear so intense that they do not even recognize it as fear. Their skin is cold and numb, and beads of sweat form on their necks and foreheads. The cold wind blows on them, but they do not feel it. They feel only the coldness of fear within them. They know that children have been killed on this road before. They remember the time that the boy who had lived only a block away from their house had been on this very path and was machine gunned dead by the soldiers. He had been doing nothing except walking to school, just as this boy and girl were now doing. They clutch each other's hands and move forward, each silently praying, God, keep us safe. Then the girl feels a sharp jerk at her shoulder, and the boy feels himself sprawling forward into the dust. They see only flashes of their surroundings. The girl sees the blackened face of a man. She catches a glimpse of something long and black. She screams with a scream that seems to have come from somewhere else. Her brain is burning with only one thought. Where is my brother? I cannot see him. Where is he? The boy is dragged to his feet. He sees the butt of a rifle coming closer and closer to his face. It hits his chin, but he does not feel the blood running down his face, nor the pain that should be accompanying it. He realizes that he is lying on the ground. He struggles to get up, thinking only of protecting his sister. He hears a series of loud sounds and recognizes them as gunshots. Then he sees his sister. The girl is lying on the ground, though she does not know why. She thinks that she must already be dead, though she can determine no reason why it must be so. She is allowing herself to slip away into that strange realm that we call death. But just then, a fleeting image of her brother enters a small opening of her darkening brain. The result is electrical. She knows suddenly that she is not dead. She jumps to her feet and whips her head around. She sees her brother, a small, writhing heap at the feet of two soldiers who are kicking him and beating him with the butts of their rifles. She is about to spring forward, but an arm is wrapped around her neck and jerks her away. It is only then that she sees blood pouring down her skirt. It is only then that she sees a hole in her stomach as large as her fist. It is only then that she knows she has been shot. And then she feels. She feels the burning of her wound, the coldness of the blood on her skin, the sharp agony of mangled organs and shattered bones. With a cry of fear and pain, she once more drops to the ground. Her senses have suddenly become sharp, quick, and acute. She hears the heavy breathing of the soldier. She feels his shadow move over her body. She looks up into his face. His eyes glitter with some kind of inhuman hatred. He lifts his rifle above her head. She knows what he is about to do. In another moment, the butt of his rifle will come crashing down on her head. Maybe it will kill her, maybe it will not, but she is sure that it will kill her. Her breath comes in sharp, painful gasps. She whispers a prayer and closes her eyes. Then she feels a hard blow on her skull. She hears ringing. It grows louder and louder and echoes throughout her brain. Then suddenly it stops. She does not feel. She does not hear. She does not see or know. She is dead. The boy is struggling to avoid the blows given to him by the soldiers. He is sobbing, screaming. His sister is dead, and he had seen her being killed. Grief that he has never felt before races through his body. He does not feel the blows of the rifle butts. He feels only burning rage and grief. You killed her, he screams over and over again, but he does not know that he is screaming. He looks into the face of the soldier who is standing nearest to him. The soldier's eyes are so light-colored that they seem to be completely white with no irises. They seem to glow in his blackened face. He shows his teeth, not as in a smile, but a snarl. The boy feels the hatred flowing out of the soldier. He knows what is about to happen. The soldier raises his machine gun and points the barrel towards the boy's head. The boy does not feel fear. He does not care whether the soldier kills him or not. His sister is dead, and he would rather die than live with the grief of losing her. He, as his sister had done only moments earlier, closes his eyes and murmurs a prayer. Then he hears the rattling sound of machine gun bullets. His head feels heavy. It feels so heavy that it seems to be sinking beneath the ground. He thinks that the dirt is smothering him. He cannot breathe. Then the last gleam of light fades from his vision. He lets out a sigh. Now he no longer feels pain or sorrow. He does not hear. He does not see. He is dead. The soldiers dump the bodies of the two dead children off to the side of the road. They feel no remorse for what they have just done. These children are just two more Palestinians, just two more brats who they thought it was appropriate to kill. These children are of no consequence to them, and why should they be? After all, Palestinians are not Jews. They are merely goyim, and lower than animals, really. And they themselves are Jews. Their blood is pure blood. They, and they alone, are loved by God. So what does it matter if they have just robbed the father and mother of two children? What does it matter if they have just destroyed their lives? It is perfectly fair and right that they should do this, for the one simple reason that they are Jews. These soldiers do not feel the pain of dying justice. They do not hear the wails of the suffering people. They do not see the injustice of the blood that they spill. They do not know what it is like to feel these things, because they are dead, because they have allowed their souls and humanity to be killed. And so, as if to put life back into the deadness of their souls, they will kill, and they will not stop. And children will weep, but they will not stop. And parents will mourn, but the Jews will not stop. And according to the Jerusalem Post, our job is to support them.
Stefania, thank you for reading the whole thing. As a matter of fact, I had planned to only read a little bit out of that, but once you started reading it...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Once you started reading it, I could not stop you because I could not really deprive our viewers of hearing you reading your own writing, hearing an American Christian writing a beautiful story, a beautiful article about Palestinians and Palestinian kids and what they go through. Stefania, how do you feel as an American when you watch these things happen to Palestinian children? How, as an American child, how do you feel?
Well, of course, I feel sad and angry. And, I just see the injustice of everything that happens. I see the blood that they spill, and it feels like it's coming from my own body. They feel like my own brothers and sisters. When I see their faces, they don't seem to be these people that I don't know. They seem to be my own brothers and sisters that I've known all my life. And it's just very terrible to see these things and to know that these things are happening.
You know, most American children your age, they probably never even heard of Palestine or the Palestinians, even though as a country we have a lot to do with what's going on in the Middle East and what's going on with the Palestinians. Do you feel like, you know, the government is kind of, are you disappointed in the in our government here that they're not doing much to help the Palestinians?
Yes, definitely. They should be helping them.
Okay. Now, when you wrote that article, what did you write it because you saw something on the news or in a newspaper? What made you write that article?
Well, we had a magazine in our house that someone sent to us. It was the Christian edition of the Jerusalem Post, and I saw that picture of the Israeli soldiers that were marching through Palestine that I first started writing about, remember?
Okay.
So when I saw that,
Now, what was the
made them
picture?
look-
What did they have on? What did the picture have on? What was it?
It was, maybe about 10 Israeli soldiers, and they were just marching across Palestine with the flag of Israel waving majestically over their heads, and it's really basically just that, but it portrays them in a very favorable light, which are not. It made them seem something that they're not. So when I saw that, I thought, these Christians will look at this picture and they think, oh, look at the Israeli soldiers, they're so wonderful. But they haven't seen pictures of these same exact soldiers who are just killing people for no reason, killing Palestinian children, killing little babies, teenagers like me. And I think they should see these pictures because it might change their minds about the way they feel about Israel.
Do you think they will see it, though? Do you think people here will see some of these pictures?
Probably not.
Why you think not?
Well, because they...
Why do you think?
I'm sorry.
Why do you think TV and newspapers here in the United States don't show these pictures of Israelis killing Palestinian children?
Because they're controlled by Israel, and Israel doesn't want to know that they do these things in this country. Because then Americans would wake up to this thing, and they would say, well, we can't let this thing happen. It's terrible. And then everything that the Jews have worked for would be gone.
So you don't think what you see on TV and what you read in the newspapers here, you don't think these reporters are reporting the truth?
No, they're not.
Because you can go on the internet and see exactly what is going on. Now, do you think, boys and girls your age normally, they're busy with what's the latest CD and what's the latest fad and what color to paint my hair. Do you think they should care about stuff like this?
Yes, they should. Every human being should care about other people. And I think that every human being really does care about other people, except for when the TV and the American culture gets in here and it gets to them, and they just are very self-centered. They only care about themselves. They don't care about what happens to other people. They say, well, that's in a different place. It doesn't affect me, so why should I care? And well, that's really it.
Okay. So you think if the media would do a better job of, of course you have access to the newspaper that you have mentioned, and also you do go online and see for yourself. You feel like if the mainstream media, like when you turn your TV on, if they show you pictures like this and they tell you what the Israelis are doing, do you think that some more people of your age would start looking at things differently than the way they look at it now? Of, there's really not everyone in the world lives like we do, but we should at least do something to make their lives a little easier? You think if they show these pictures on TV, you think more like you would come out and speak out on behalf of the Palestinians?
I don't know. I think maybe they would, but probably most of them would not, because as I said before, they have been programmed to not care about other people, to only care about themselves. So maybe some of them would, but probably most of them would just go on the same way that they had before. If they thought that the things that are happening to the Palestinians would happen to them one day, then they would change their minds, then they would care. But unless that happens, then they're probably just going to go on the way that they always have, not caring.
I see. So as long as it's happening to somebody else, then they don't care. I'll tell you what, Stefania, we're going to go to the phones and speak with, we have some callers who want to talk to you. So let me put one of them on. Go ahead, amigo. Amigo, you're on.
Hi, Doc. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Hey, Steph, if you can hear me, I applaud you. Can you hear me, Doc?
Yeah, she can. Can you hear him?
Not very clearly.
Okay.
All right. Well, I applaud you. And I just want to tell you, every week I watch Dr. Tillawi's show, and I get emotional when they show these pictures like you've been shown tonight, Steph, and I get very emotional because I'm a father, okay? And I applaud Dr. Tillawi for that, for showing. But what I call for, Steph, you're a very bright young lady. Go keep your articles and your feelings on get a website if you don't have one already, and keep it on the internet. And don't get discouraged. You're young. You are absolutely right. The young people, not even grown-ups in this country, don't care because it don't affect them. Okay? But keep up the good work. Keep on doing your researches. You're still young yet, and somebody will listen to you. Okay?
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, amigo.
All right.
Stefania, as a matter of fact, you are on the internet. What is your? You have a blog, right?
Yes.
Do you know? I didn't write it down. Can you? Do you have it? Can you tell us what it is?
Sure. It's http://bridgesofjustice.wordpress.com.
Say it again one more time.
http://bridgesofjustice.wordpress.com.
Bridges of Justice.
Yes.
.org.
.wordpress.com.
Or is it .com? Bridgesofjustice.com.
Bridgesofjustice.wordpress.com.
Okay. All right. We have another caller, I believe. Yes or no? No? I mean, I see the lines are lit up. Okay. Let's go to, what line is he on? 3. Okay. Let's go to Ramsey on 3. Go ahead, Ramsey.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I just want to ask a question to Stefania. Has she been attacked or suppressed by the Jewish organizations and the Israelis for exposing her work, like talking about the Israelis' crimes and so on? And so another question for you. So about the assassination of the Lebanese leader, Pierre Ismail, it was obviously the Mossad that did it, right?
Well, always we ask the question, who's benefiting? And definitely that whole program of Israel, the United States, that whole thing is benefiting definitely. You see, having a problem, Ramsey, in Lebanon, especially if it fuels the Sunni Shiite problem, not much the Christian problem, but mainly the Sunni and Shiite problem, that will definitely be exactly what Israel wants. And if you notice the announcements and the statements from more, like Saad al-Hariri, you will see that Ismail's assassination has put a big dent in his relationship with Hezbollah. Of course, it wasn't always that good of a relationship, but I think it defined the lines and it defines the limit of the gap between these two people. So I think what's happening in Iraq and what's happening in Lebanon is related very much, and I'm really afraid that this whole thing is to basically put the Iranian camp as a regional power against the Israeli camp in order to muster some support for the Israelis within the Arab countries. So it's one small scene from a huge and very complicated play.
Yes, sir. I just want to make two comments. Sir James Petrus's book, The Power of Israel in the United States, is very big on the internet now, and it's a very hot book on the internet.
Right.
And so one more question. I totally agree with Stefania when she said people are programmed, especially because of the Holocaust. People think that the Jews got killed in the Holocaust, and the Holocaust justifies their crimes against the Palestinians, and they use it and they exploit the Holocaust.
Right, Ramsey, hold on a second for me. Stefania, did you get any harassment emails or anything from pro-Israeli groups, or anyone sent you bad emails or anything?
Just one. That was all.
Just one. Okay.
I don't. What?
Go ahead.
Well, I started doing this only about a month ago, so I've only gotten one letter from someone. I forget his name, but
okay.
He was just saying.
And you just started doing this, so I guess they haven't. I guess they haven't got to you yet. So, but I'll tell you what, being 15 and being no, you said 14, right, or 15?
14.
14. I don't know why I keep want to make you a year older. Ramsey, you have anything else?
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks. All right. Tell you what, Stefania, you're famous tonight. We're going to go with Jay on line 2. Go ahead, Jay.
Yes.
Hi. Jay, you're on.
Hi. I first want to make sure that I'm not want to take anyone's side. You just say, like, you can discuss the issues over the whole world. So I felt encouraged, bring certain things.
Sure.
I really agree that Israel deals in a harsh manner with the Palestinian, and maybe in some cases inhuman manner. But I was just thinking, certain historical, maybe very ancient historical things, like Mecca and Medina is in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And why the Jerusalem had to be taken, and a mosque had to be created in the Holy Land. And then, when I raise these issues, some people say, well, history is history, we cannot change that. So we have to live with that and, accept the, whatever the situation is, and we have to live friendly and happily.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, you raise a good point. So what's wrong with building a mosque in Jerusalem? There is churches in Jerusalem. Do you have a problem with churches being in Jerusalem?
No, I don't have any problem, but I'm not finished actually. I have little more thing. It will be more clear what I want to say.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Then I agree that there is no problem, but then in 1965, I think all the Arab countries together attacked Israel.
What? Okay, hold on. What year was that? You mean 1967?
65. That's what I think. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, it happened. They had in 1948. That's when Israel was established, and that's when they kicked out almost 1 million Palestinians as refugees. And in 1967, that's when Israel took over the whole.
Yeah, I agree on that. But my thinking is, when in 1947 or 47, did you say 47?
48. That's when.
48.
Yeah.
So when it was created, then. Yeah, that was a historical fact again. Then what was the use of, solving the problem amicably, making an all-out attack on Israel? And then also on the other side...
Who made all-out attack on Israel?
I think all the Arab countries together, like Egypt,
when did they do that?
Jordan, and these countries.
When did they do that?
In like 1965 or something?
No, they did not. Israel, the fact is... Now, I detect an accent. What country you come from?
I'm from India.
India, okay. In a lot of places, Jay, in a lot of places, what is reported is not what is happening. Now, what you're referring to is in 1967, and in 1967, Israel attacked Egypt first. And then Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, they really did not really fight. The whole thing lasted 6 days, and Israel took over the rest of Palestine. See, in 1948, they had taken about 68% of the land, and then in 1967, they took over the whole thing. But if you remember, and if you can go back on the internet and actually read about it, Israel attacked Egypt first in 1967. There was not an all-out war. The Arab countries, Jay, and you know this, coming from India, you know this, that the Arabs are no match to Israel. You know the support that Israel gets from the United States and the kind of weapons they get. So there is no way on earth that if the whole Arab world, not just these countries that you have mentioned, if all of them get together, they will not be able to defeat Israel because it's that strong. And Israel is the only country in the region that has nuclear bombs. They have 400 nuclear bombs. So I can't see what Arab country would even dare to attack Israel. Anything else, Jay?
Yeah, I have some more. Yeah, I agree with. I didn't know the fact that Israel attacked Egypt first.
Yes.
So thank you for that information.
Sure.
So I may have to change my views, maybe not views, but my knowledge base. But I have few more things.
Sure.
Like. I already say that I sympathize with the Palestinian people, but on the other hand, if you know, like in Kashmir, millions of Hindus have been, ethnically cleansed, by the Pakistan-sponsored Muslim terrorists, and there is not as much, cry for them as much cry for the on the, like the Muslim oppression against the Muslims.
You know why? You know why?
Yeah, you can tell me.
Well, you can guess. Number one, I'm not really sure of what is going on in Kashmir. I think in Kashmir it's more a problem. Probably Kashmiris, if they are left alone, they would probably decide their fate. But I think with having India have interest in there and Pakistan have interest in there, I think that's where the whole problem stands. But if Kashmiris have been Jews, I think the story will be a totally different story. Or if India have been Jews, or if Pakistan have been Jews, then it will be a different story. The story is the reason you hear about the Palestinians because, and you see it's a little bit different, Jay. We really can't say, we can't use that analogy because the Israelis are people who came from Europe in the early part of the 20th century, later part of the 19th century, into a land that was not theirs and took over that land. But in Kashmir, it's a totally different story. I mean, in Kashmir, it's more political than anything else. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree to some extent. It is a political mess created by two countries. I mean, but certain also other things like when India was about to get freedom, there have been some politics played on, but again, in 1947, it was, decided that Kashmir will be free. It will not join either India or Pakistan.
Yeah.
And then, there were some things, some odd things done by India and certain odd things done by Pakistan. I'm not blaming any specific one country, but what Pakistan did was it attacked Kashmir, and then the ruler of Kashmir, asked help from India, so and India, asked him to join India, and then only it will defend it. So it happened, and then India entered into the region, and it stopped Pakistan in the, at some point. Pakistan has taken like 1/3 of the Kashmir, and then it was a resolution that Pakistan will leave their part, and then Kashmiris will vote to decide, which country they want to join or they want to stay independent.
Okay, Jay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Never left their part.
Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I really, because, the subject is totally different, but you know what? You're giving me an idea of actually to tackle the the Kashmir problem at another show. I just don't want to confuse people out there more than they are confused, because they're having a hell of a time, even with a problem like...
I have just one last thing. I would just complete with that.
Yeah.
I think, the one way that definitely the Israel should stop its oppression, but on the other hand, Jesus, never retaliated Rome with, suicide bombing or terrorism against the oppression Rome did. So, I think both sides should stop violence. Just blaming one side is, I agree what is happening, but the both side has to be forced to stop their violence.
Jay, that's a very important point that you are bringing. You are equating both sides with violence. Now, the Palestinians, I agree, the Palestinians have done some of these, so-called suicide bombers. But really, it is too exaggerated of what they have done, and also the Palestinian violence against Israelis. All you have to do is look at the numbers. There's about 6,000 Palestinians who are dead compared to a few hundred Israelis, and most of them are soldiers, by the way. But when you look on the Palestinian side, you will see houses being demolished. The Palestinians never demolished an Israeli house.
I agree on that, definitely. You are right.
Yeah.
But,
now you will see.
Also some suicide bombings in marketplaces.
Just hold on. Yes. Hold on.
Killing of innocent people is.
I understand.
I don't want to put numbers in anyone.
Right, Jay. I'm not condoning any of that, but yeah, we do have to put numbers, because if somebody, the crime, the punishment has to be equal to the crime, and if somebody is killing, if somebody has F-16s and has the fourth strongest army in the world, and the Palestinians are unarmed and they have a wall around them, people are desperate, and desperation causes people to do a lot. But listen, I appreciate your call, and you had some good points. Thank you, Jay.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go. Stefania, you still with me?
I'm still with you.
Yes. I'll tell you what, I'm going to line one with Howard. Go ahead, Howard.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to make a comment about what's happening with the Palestinians.
Yes, sir.
And Israel. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
And I was raised in a Zionistic type of Christian church, and was given a lot of propaganda, and went along, but something in the back of my mind said something isn't right with this picture. And then I started looking at history, because I love history. And I actually read the New Testament. And there were things that even these, the church that I belong to, they just overlooked it. And what they overlooked was when Jesus Christ, before he was crucified, looked over Jerusalem and wept. He made a judgment on the Jews. He basically said, I will make your land desolate. But basically, no, he said, I'll make the house of Judah desolate. And soon after that, they were kicked out. And somebody wonders why the Dome of the Rock is sitting there. I said it's God's judgment on those people who basically were doing all kinds of nasty things then, which they're doing nasty things today. And I'm talking about the rabbis, the Pharisees. A lot of the Jews, the average Jews, don't even know anything about their traditions. The Talmud, which is actually the written thing that Jesus Christ attacked them over.
Howard, can you hold on 1 second for me?
Sure.
Because I don't want to keep Stefania on. I know it's... Stefania, I just want to say thank you for coming on the program, and I really enjoy your articles. So keep up the good work, and I'm sure we will have you here for many years to come.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Okay, Howard, go ahead.
And so, by me reading history, the people, the Palestinians that are there, And the people who were there before 1947, their property, it belongs to them.
Right.
And I sat there and I had to think, when Jesus Christ made a prophetic statement, he meant it. And that is, the party's over, folks. What you've done is an abomination. And that's the reason why the rabbis of his day were so upset with him, because he told them the truth.
Okay. Now, Howard, you bring up a good point, and also brings me to, who are the Jews of today? And when you say Jew, what do you really mean? I mean, let me just finish my thought. Do we mean like people who are religious Jews? Do we mean people who converted? Do we mean people, what do we mean when we say Jews? Because 90% of Jews of today are converts. They converted back in the 10th century.
Oh, I read that history, and my attitude was, they don't belong there.
Exactly.
But I do believe that the Jews that did survive after 70 A.D.
Right.
with their ancestors, a bunch of them were scattered and just evicted, let's put it that way. And some of them that just stay, a few that stayed around that have lived there for over 1,000 years, and they got generations, and other people who have moved in. That's their land. That's their home.
Exactly. Some of them became Christian,
and some of them are Christians, and
exactly, and some of them became Muslim. So the people who lived there, Jews, Christians, and Muslims, of that ancestry from way back then, that is their land, regardless.
That's right.
The majority of them now are basically converts, people who basically converted into Judaism, and now they're saying, and you know what, the funny thing is, most of them are not even religious. Howard, I appreciate the call. A lot of good information there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay, we go on to Canada with Ramsey. Go ahead, Ramsey.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
So I just want to make a comment about we talk about the Jews and all that. So I don't think it's relevant to talk about what happened 2,000, 3,000 years ago, but because this is mainly a 19th century, 20th century issue, and just like I said, these Jews came from Europe,
right?
And when this problem started, there was only a 2% population in Palestine, and most of them were Arabs.
Right. I mean, very much what Howard was saying, that he thought, and he was taught in church, that this has to do with what happened 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, or whatever. So what you're saying is, why are we even talking about that history? That history has nothing to do with the history of those who say they're Jews who came from Europe into Palestine.
Yes. And another point I have to keep in mind. So when we talk about the nation states, what matters is the nationality. The Jews that live there, they're from there because these were Middle Eastern people, and there were Jewish people in Egypt, Jewish people in Syria, Jewish people in Iran. See, the Jews that came to Palestine in the 20th century, those Jews came from Europe.
Right.
Yeah, they're Jewish. Yeah, it's true that they're Jewish and they believe in the Old Testament and all that.
But you know what? Most of them don't even.
Their nationality is Polish and Russian and from New York.
Right, and those.
Nothing to do with Palestine.
Those who are
European.
Claim to be Jews, actually, they go by the Talmud. The Talmud is basically their holy book. Now, some people, and somebody explained this to me, that, the Torah, but you see, not everybody really thinks of the Torah the same thing. You have those Jews who believe in the Torah, and the Torah to us is the only book, the only holy book that the Jews has gotten. And those who believe in the Torah believe that God, when He made them into exile, he told them, you cannot go back to Palestine until I come. You cannot go back to the Holy Land in masses until I come to you. He put 3 conditions on them. And then the other condition was that you are to abide by the laws that you are under the countries that you are living under. And the third one, that you cannot overrun the countries that you are under and control them politically. So basically, these are the conditions that God had put on them. That's what Jews believe, Jews who believe in the Torah. And if anyone believes in something else, I would not even call them Jews. Most of them, a lot of them believe in the Talmud.
So you're referring to the anti-Zionist Jews?
I'm sorry?
You're referring to the Jews who are against Israel, the anti-Zionist Jews, the Orthodox?
No, I'm referring to anyone. I'm referring to anyone that says I believe in the Torah, regardless if they are, Europeans or not.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, I think one last comment. So you talked about in your show and all the previous shows, the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians in the West Bank.
Right.
But what about the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians in Palestine? Because there are Jewish people who have this demographic transfer plan to transfer the Palestinians from Israel. Because as you know, the biggest problem is the demographic problem. I mean demographic issue is the main problem for the Israelis.
Right.
So, would you please have a program on your show to talk about that?
I will.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, appreciate it. By the way, we do have some pictures for a Swedish girl. Her name is Tove Johansson, 19-year-old. She was in Hebron. And to help my graphic person, I think it's like 43, 44, something like that. This girl she was in Hebron, and Hebron is a Palestinian town, but there is a settlement, a Jewish settlement there in downtown Hebron. And this girl was attacked with a bottle that somebody hit her on her face, and we have her pictures. Let's put her pictures up on the screen. She has, basically they told her, we killed Jesus and we will kill you too. That's what you're looking at there is Tove, T-O-V-E. She was in Hebron, in downtown Hebron. She was with the International Solidarity Movement. That is basically Europeans and Americans who go to Palestine to help Palestinians, and this particular group was helping Palestinian children go back and forth to school. And while they were passing through downtown Hebron, some Jewish thugs have attacked this girl, and one of them, as a matter of fact, hit her with a bottle and broke her jaw. And they were shouting, the people in the crowd, they were shouting, we killed Jesus and we will kill you too. Now the question is, ladies and gentlemen, I bet you did not hear about this, and you will not hear about this. If this had been a group of Muslims that have attacked this girl, and if they made the remark that they have made, that these Jews have made, that we killed Jesus and we will kill you too, I wonder how your mainstream media would be reacting to this, and I wonder how your the talk show hosts of the Rush Limbaughs and the Sean Hannitys, how they would have a heyday if a Muslim made a statement. Of course, a Muslim will not make a statement against Christianity, because something that a lot of Christians don't know, that Muslims are the only people who actually recognize Jesus after Christians. And the Muslims, the most probably misunderstood religion, and now for a reason, of course, because they don't want you to know what Islam is all about and what Muslims are. Now, we're not advocating to like a religion. That is the last thing I'm going to do on this show, is to advocate liking a religion. Mainly, my purpose in bringing this is to basically show you that when it comes to anything that has to do with Israel or anything that has to do with Jews, you will not see it on the mainstream media, because definitely this would have been reported if this girl was attacked by some Muslims mob. And what it was, these Jewish people were in downtown Hebron, and they attacked that 19-year-old Swedish Christian girl, and they were chanting. They were chanting, "We killed Jesus, we'll kill you too." That's what this mob were chanting, but you did not hear about it at all. This is a classic example of how the media deals with these things, how they program your mind to look at people in a different way. It's like Israel can do no wrong. It's like, no matter what they do, it's still going to be buried in probably, this probably made it, I don't know what newspapers have covered that, or what TV stations have covered that. I don't really pay much attention to the news on like Fox or CNN, or I don't really watch it, because to me, there's no sense of watching it. You will not learn anything by watching these, and the networks too, like ABC, NBC, and CBS, and also MSNBC. One thing about the media controls, and the media, whoever's controlling the media is basically the one that controls the government and the political system that we have here. If you notice, a couple of months before the elections of this month, when we elected, the midterm elections, if you notice that the media really started being very critical of Bush and the Republicans in ways that you never seen before. And one of those, if you remember Keith Oberlin, his when he called President Bush a liar and all that stuff, and some other ones, they became really aggressive right before the elections. Well, these people knew the truth before. They knew the truth even when we went to Iraq, but they did not say anything because they were covering the same thing. They were actually covering up what was going on. So basically the media is the one that's controlling you. They want a Democratic House and Senate, and that's exactly what we got because of the coverage that they had covered. And now, of course, that coverage kind of staying down a little bit, not as much, but really, in all reality, it doesn't matter if we have Democrats or Republicans. There are people who set up policy for the country, and these people are basically they play in these both parties to be just another face of the same coin, because they do have the government system. Somebody needs to run it, and they just use these different parties for different things. So we'll use the Republican Party to go to war, and we will use the Democratic Party to kind of, we accomplished what we need. We broke up Iraq for Israel, so we accomplished what we needed, and now we just need to come back regardless of how bad the situation is and regardless of what we leave Iraq with. So now the Democrats' job is to basically bring the troops back, that's what needs to be done. But in the meantime, we live in Iraq in shambles. We live in that house broken, and we are basically coming back. Just, Republicans and Democrats, and each one of them has a different role to play. That's who decides what happens in the world. Those people that you don't see, they're not the president, they're not Congress, they're not the people in government. Actually, they are above and beyond government. See you next time.
My name is Chris.